When you really stop and think about it, our words aren't just there. They're built. It's like they're constructed piece by piece with these tiny but incredibly powerful little building blocks. Okay, let's dive into how this all works. And that's pretty much the big idea here today. Just a few letters, kind of hidden in plain sight, can completely flip, twist, or just expand what a word means. It's amazing. So we're talking about these silent architects of the English language. The parts that are working behind the scenes, shaping everything we say. Let's meet the two main players, prefixes and suffixes. Okay, so it really just boils down to placement. A prefix, that latches onto the beginning of a word to change its meaning. Think un plus happy. Boom, you've got its opposite, unhappy. A suffix, on the other hand, it goes on the end to change the word's job. Teach becomes teacher, turning an action into a person. Simple, right? All right, now that we've got the difference down, let's build ourselves a little cheat sheet. Think of this next part as your personal code book for cracking the English language. Let's just run through some of the heavy hitters, rapid-fire style. First up, at the start of a word, you've got un. Super simple. It just means not. It's like a little on-off switch for meaning. Then there's re, which you see everywhere. It just means again. So when you rewrite something or replay a song, you're literally just hitting the repeat button on that action. And dis is another good one. It gives you the opposite. You don't just not agree, you disagree. It's a stronger reversal. All right, now let's jump to the end of the word.
The suffix "er" is one you know well. It often turns an action into a person, specifically one who does the thing. Someone who teaches, a teacher. Someone who runs, a runner. Easy.
Then you have full, and this one is exactly what it sounds like. It means full of. A powerful moment is literally full of power. A helpful person is full of help. Makes perfect sense.
And this is where it gets really cool, because it shows how logical the system is. The perfect opposite of full is less, which means without. So you can be hopeful or hopeless, fearful or fearless. It's this beautifully balanced system.
Okay, so we've seen the individual bricks, but how do we put them together to build, a skyscraper? Well, that brings us to this simple but really powerful idea I called a word builder rule.
And I love this metaphor because it just gets to the heart of it. Language isn't just a boring list of rules you have to memorize. No, it's a living thing. Meaning grows organically, like a tree, where each new part adds another branch, all starting from one single root. So here's how you can actually use it. First, you start with a simple root word, like play. Second, you can add a prefix to change it, replay. Third, you could add a suffix instead to change its role, playful. But here's the real magic. You can do both. You can take play and add full and ness to get playfulness. You just built a complex idea from one simple root. And fourth, this is the best part. You can just play around and invent. And here's the real takeaway from all this. The goal isn't to memorize thousands of words. It's about building your linguistic intuition. It's that natural gut feeling that lets you see a word you've never seen before, break it down into its parts, and just logically figure out what it probably means.
And once you have that intuition, oh man, everything changes. Language stops being this rigid, formal thing you have to study, and it becomes something you can actively create and play with. It becomes your playground.
So let's actually turn this into a game. You could try something like word surgery, where you literally just cut and reattach parts of words to see what happens. Or how about you invent your own? What would a super reader be, or a rethinker, right? They aren't in the dictionary, but we know exactly what they mean. And that's my challenge to you. Seriously, using the bits and pieces we've talked about, or any others what new words can you come up with? What can you design? Because that's the ultimate goal here. When you understand the building blocks, you're not just a user of language anymore. You become an architect, a designer. You're actually capable of building new meanings. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. If our entire language is constructed from these tiny modular parts, what new ideas, what new concepts, what amazing creations are you going to build with them next?